Halftime at Adams Field, Wayne State leads Northern Michigan 24-7. I'm Tony Ortiz, and I'm pleased to be joined by the men's head basketball coach here at Wayne State, the well-dressed Bryan Smothers. And, Coach, thank you very much for taking your time to join us today.
Yes, appreciate it. Thanks to our partners at Nike and BSN Sports for hooking us up.
Okay. Truth be told there, first thing I said when he walked up was, love the hoodie. I think it's phenomenal. And he said it's one of one.
It is. I'm the only one with it for now.
For now.
Yes.
Nice. Well, before we talk about this year's team, let's go back to last year. You closed out by winning 6 of 8. You had a nice little run in the GLIAC tournament. How important was that stretch for the development of your team, the program, and going into this year, the momentum built in?
Yeah, I think for our guys who put in a lot of work, who do the right things, they show up every day and they work hard, for them to kind of get that validation to finish the season that way. We always felt like we were close. A couple of plays here and there go our way. We would have been on the other side in some of those games. So for us to kind of put it together, I think that fueled some of our guys in the off season and allowed us to have a pretty good preseason as well.
I know you're 2 games into the season, but what do you like, Coach, about this year's team?
I like that I know our players, and they know me. Guys that have been with us through our first 2 years, guys that were with us last year. It allows them to help us bring the new guys along. They help teach the new guys kind of how we do things, our values, our style of play. Those things are really beneficial when you're trying to, build a team and have continuity, having people that have been around. Having a staff that's been together now going into our 3rd year too. All of those things made our preseason just feel a lot different as we try to make this team the best that we can.
How important is that kind of continuity? You have 3 starters returning, 8 letter winners coming back to the team. You talk about the coaching staff continuity. How important is that in building the program?
It's huge. I can tell just in our first couple years where we didn't have that. And, the disconnect at times or the lack of confidence where you're unsure. Your guys on the court and they're not comfortable, right? Those are the things that now, I think I see improvement already. And so just having an understanding of what you should expect from your coaches, right? And for us to kind of know our players a little bit, knowing how they're going to respond in certain situations, it allows us to kind of get in front of things a little bit better.
You talk about the continuity. You talk about getting to know the players. Was it good then because of that continuity to play your first 2 games on the road this season?
Yeah, just to get uncomfortable, right? To go out and, a little bit of a long road trip, playing against opponents where, they have majority new players on their team. And one of the, UND had a new coaching staff. And so all the information isn't going to be as concise as it typically is when you're in conference play. So to be uncomfortable, and, I think we saw that at times where our guys were a little unsure. They were like, hey, this isn't exactly what we anticipated, right? So now we have to be able to adjust on the fly, right? And that's the game of basketball. There's a lot of gray area where you have to make executive decisions on the fly, right, from a player's perspective and a coach's perspective. So just getting out of our comfort zone, going out there, and now we get a chance to come home and play against our family and friends.
You talk about coming home. 6 of your next 8 games are going to be at the Fieldhouse. How important is it to have a good run during that stretch?
Yeah, it's great, right? You got to win home games, right, in the non-conference for your record standpoint, and also in conference play. It's hard to win a championship when, you don't have a good home record, right? So taking advantage of home court, the baskets that you practice on every day, you get to stay at home in your own bed, you're using your locker room, the comfort level that comes with that, and also the chance to just perform in front of your family, your friends, your supporters. That's just a different feeling.
First part of that home stretch is tomorrow when you take on Findlay. Quick scouting report. What are you looking for from Findlay?
Yeah, Findlay, they're a really high-power offense. They're scoring like 108 points a game, which is unheard of. At this level, those are like NBA numbers. So they're doing a really good job of creating turnovers. So it's a really up-tempo team with how they press in the full-court defense and the tempo that they play with offensively. So they create some challenges, different style than the first 2 opponents, right? But at the same time, we feel like there's some advantages that we have that are different than our first couple times out.
Let me ask you something from a coaching perspective. In the GLIAC preseason poll, you guys got picked to finish 5th this year. Do you pay attention to stuff like that? And is that possible motivation for your team, seeing them get picked? Maybe they say, okay, we're going to go out and prove everybody wrong.
Yeah, as a team, it's not something that we talked about. I think, some of it makes sense and some of it is like, this is our opportunity to prove that we're better than that, right? A lot of respect for our conference opponents and what they return and what they've done historically, but at the same time, that's why you play the games. You get out there, you get a chance to prove who you are every time you go out there. So we get a chance to do that this year. And in terms of conference play, December 5th and 7th, get a chance to start at home, versus Davenport and Grand Valley, and get a chance to show who we are.
Down here on the field with head coach Bryan Smothers. The men's program started the support drive recently. So for those who may not know, what is the support drive and what is the goal for it?
Yeah, it's similar to a crowdfunder. It's a Warrior Funder campaign for our program. It's the first time we've done it, and it's really an efforts to raise money for our players in the program. The things that we, spend on, whether that's gear, equipment, team meals, team activities, to feed a team of 14 or a travel party of 20, 21 people, those are $400 meals just one time, so when you're on the road and you need 3 meals and those things add up, right? So just making sure people understand, hey, this is a great way to support. These are specific line items that you can donate to, right? So you know where that money is going to. And then what that allows us to do to kind of bank some of that money and hope to use that for other projects that we want to do in the future.
If people want to contribute, how can they do so, Coach?
Yeah, there's a great site out right now on our WSU Athletics page, our social media pages on Twitter, X, and Instagram as well. Following myself and our staff, and our players, they're all promoting it on our own individual sites as well. So a lot of different ways to find the site and to donate. And at the same time, there's still a way to go to the grassroots route to send checks in as well that could go directly to that fund too.
I think people would be surprised how much it costs to keep a program like this going and how much it may not seem like a lot, but it really is a lot, and it adds up, like you said, as the season goes on.
It really does. The travel, without getting into specific numbers, but to travel, even to play a home game, or just one pair of shoes for our guys is $150, right? So if you want to buy more than one pair, or if you want to have sweatsuits or more than one, right? Those things add up for the people within our program. So, and our administration, they do a great job, but this is a way that we're trying to get out and do a little bit on our own to help our program grow.
I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I remember when sneakers were $25.
You could probably find some for $25 now, but none that you want to play basketball in, I can tell you that. Yeah.
Head Coach Bryan Smothers joining us here on the sidelines at halftime. Bryan, thank you very much for joining us. Again, men's basketball, first home game tomorrow at the Fieldhouse. I will see you next Saturday for the doubleheader, men at 1, women at 3.
Yeah, no, appreciate you, Tony. We're tomorrow 2 o'clock at home. We know there's a Lions game, but we get a chance to watch them every Sunday. So come out and support the team and catch up with them on your preferred apps on your phone.
He's one of the best people to cover. He may not always be glad to see me at halftime and at the end of games, but I still like covering him anyway. He's head coach Bryan Smothers. Hey, Bryan, thanks for the time. Good luck this season, and we'll talk next week.
All good. Thanks, Tony.
You got it. Head coach Bryan Smothers down here on the sidelines with us at Adams Field. Third quarter about to get started with Sean Belizean and Brady Beaton. You're watching Wayne State football right here on Flow Sports.